What is up, you guys? I'm Charmx, and today I'm going to be reacting to Game Theory, the Minecraft Warden solved with Dream. Now, Dream is actually a massive YouTube channel, one of the fastest growing, I think, or at least was recently. And this is also by The Game Theorist, so make sure you guys go subscribe to Dream and The Game Theorist. The links are in the description. And yeah, hopefully this will be quite interesting. The original link's in the description as well. And without any further ado, let's begin. Oh, I like this animation so far. It's well done. Would you make this in Blender?
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game
It was a good intro.
Theory, the show that just keeps picking away at the hidden lore of Minecraft. Because let's face it, Minecraft isn't one of those games that explicitly tells you what's going on. Instead, it implies its lore through world design, spawn behavior, sound effects, and character appearances, all for investigators like us to uncover. A perfect example of this implicit lore came during Minecraft Live's reveal of the game's upcoming Caves and Cliffs update, when the team introduced us to the newest and most interesting mob to date, the Warden.
What did we just see?
That was cool.
They don't outright tell us what's going on with the Warden, but you only need to take one look at its chest and the souls that are trapped inside to tell that there's a story behind this guy. Ordinarily, I'd wait until the Warden was actually in the game so we could get the full picture of what its behavior and spawn conditions are like before we begin theorizing, but we've already got ourselves a ton of information to work with here. I mean, just look at this thing. The green texture of its skin is practically identical to the material used for end portal blocks. This mob is practically begging
So is he a warden, or a protector, or a guardian of the end portal?
for a theory.
So you could say it's sort of an unsolved mystery.
You could. Excuse me, why is there a big neon green block creature in my video?
I'm Dream. I'm a Minecraft speedrunner, and I love talking about unsolved mysteries of Minecraft from time to time. I was actually just running away from some hunters, and I wound up in the wrong seed. And don't knock the green. I've seen your thumbnails.
You're a Minecraft speedrunner. Sure, early 2008 memes called. They want their
Don't knock the green. I've seen your thumbnails. Roasted.
stick boys back.
Says the guy who is literally a dancing cardboard cutout.
Touché. So, should we just end this awkward justification of why we're collaborating and just start talking about the Wardens?
That's probably a good idea. Let's end the cringe.
When you're here, the cringe
The cringe never ends.
never ends. I just simultaneously whipped and nay-nayed! Thanks, editors, like I said. So, even though the Caves and Cliffs update adding the Wardens to the game isn't expected to come out until summer of 2021, almost a year from now, we already know a lot about these guys. For starters,
This is all really interesting to me because I've actually never seen this before, and this isn't even released yet fully in Minecraft. Because like I played Minecraft recently and I never saw anything like this before. So this is all really cool.
this new Warden mob was introduced alongside another new feature coming to the cave biome, the Skulk, a seemingly natural growth that appears in deep caves. As demonstrated in the gameplay reveal, the Skulk's most interesting feature is that it can sense sounds. According to what we've been told, the Skulk can detect footsteps, projectiles, and blocks being placed, and wool, which is presumably soft enough to insulate any vibrations, can prevent it from reacting.
This actually gives us a behavioral connection between the Skulk and the Warden. The Warden is blind, meaning that it senses players by reacting to things like sound and vibration, just like the Skulk does. Add that to the fact that the Warden and Skulk are found together in...
So does the skull kind of work as like a transmitter to let the warden know where people are or stuff like that?
caves and share a very similar visual design, and it feels like the Warden might be some sort of naturally occurring creature. Maybe something that grew out of the Skulk, or maybe the Skulk evolved.
Possibly, but I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. When asked about whether the Warden and Skulk are part of the same species, developer Brandon Pierce said this, quote, "They're made of the same stuff at the very least." Eyeball emoji. That seems like a highly dodgy answer. Were they made that way by Mother Nature, or is he implying that the Warden is perhaps a creature that was made through more artificial means? Perhaps
Oh, by like the people before or whatever?
by an ancient race of builders who had harvested Skulk and found a way to use it in their contraptions.
That seems like a bit of a stretch.
I actually don't think I'm overanalyzing this. Viewers of this channel know that we've gathered a lot of evidence over the last
I love seeing someone finally tell Matt that he might be stretching things in his own video.
year that there was once a great civilization of builders in this game. A civilization that
I do remember this. So Matt might be right here.
Them all for some unknown reason. So we have a good idea that they existed. And going back to the design detail that immediately caught my eye about the Wardens, you look at the Warden's chest and find that where you'd expect to see a beating heart, you instead see caged souls. Souls, plural. I don't know of many natural creatures that are born with multiple souls. It's highly suggestive of an origin that involves being created somehow, by creators who are perhaps harnessing souls as an energy source. And in case you think that I'm
And it looks like the souls from like Soul Sand almost.
extrapolating too much from that little visual detail, it was once again confirmed by Minecraft gameplay developer Brandon Pierce, who when asked about the Warden's blue chest patch on Twitter, responded with, quote, "I can't confirm anything, but it definitely sounds like a heartbeat, and the texture is definitely reminiscent of souls." And in case you missed it when we talked about it earlier on this channel, this year's Minecraft dungeon game basically confirmed that certain items in the Minecraft franchise are built with literal souls that are being used as an energy source. Or, as the official Twitter account put it, quote, "A true adventurer puts their soul into everything they do, and the truest adventurers put other people's souls in it too." In that episode, we concluded that the Vex that evokers create are comprised of souls, and that opens the door to other sorts of artificially created mobs also built from souls, hence the Warden.
So you're saying that
So do you think the Warden is created from evokers?
the Warden mob might be some sort of artificial construct made using soul sand?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
That's what it
looking
looks
across
like.
all my past theories in this game, there's one common theme that keeps appearing: experiments with the creation of life. When you look at the design and story details of the various mobs throughout Minecraft, it all ties back to this recurring quest to become almost like God, with power over life and death. I've done major episodes looking into all this, but based on the evidence, the Illagers seem to have been booted out of the Villager Society because they were experimenting with creating life. The Iron Golem seemed to be an early stepping stone of some ancient race trying to create sentient creatures. The Wither itself seems like it was a failed experiment to create life using soul sand, and the list goes on for lots of other mobs. And so the Warden, being this combination of skulk and souls, feels like it would be a natural extension to all of this. It was
I think I agree with Matt, at least so far. But I like seeing that Dream told Matt, "Hey, it looks like you're reaching too far." Although I don't know if Matt is on this, but it's nice hearing someone say it. And it's nice hearing someone say it to Matt, because sometimes I think Matt doesn't realize how far he reaches, and it's like, what are you freaking doing? But no, I don't think he's actually reaching that far in this, at least.
created. It was built, but built for what? That's the question.
Well, it's probably related to what you mentioned before. The Wardens appear to be made of the same stuff as end portal blocks. I mean, I'd recognize that eerie shade of green anywhere. So if these Wardens were artificially constructed, it might have happened at around the same time that the end portals themselves were being built. Plus, look at their name. Remember that end portals are found in strongholds, a place fortified so as to protect it against attack. Now, consider the name Warden. These days,
Yeah, you would think the Warden was to be guarded or something. But where is the Warden located? Like, is it just in random trenches in the game? Like, we don't know yet because, like, it fully hasn't come out until, what, next year, I think? We don't know yet. But if it was actually guarding or close to the end portal, then it would make a lot more sense.
the most common use of the word warden is when talking about prison wardens, the supervisors who are placed in charge of keeping people in a secured structure. But the term warden actually has a much more general meaning too. A person charged with the care or supervision of persons, animals, or things. A keeper. Maybe they were built as guards to supervise or protect the end portals.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Take your swing.
Huh, it's a pretty good observation. Not bad for a guy who once tweeted that you ate your cat's poop.
Well, I can't really defend myself there, can I?
But you're totally right. The names Stronghold and Warden, as well as the color palette and the design, heck, even the fact that both Wardens and Strongholds are found in the deepest layers of the overworld, all of it implies some sort of relationship. You know, my exploration in the lore of Minecraft started with the Enderman, and what I found in that first episode is what convinced me that there is actual lore in this game. In that theory, I concluded that the Endermen are actually an ancient race of builders who, eons ago, created end portals inside of strongholds in an attempt to flee the overworld, only to discover too late that it was a one-way trip. The Endermen we see today are the descendants of those ancient builders, who, through a combination of evolution and a chorus fruit diet, have become almost unrecognizable, except for their ability to pick up and carry blocks and a few choice vocal lines. When creating that stronghold, it would have made sense for those builders to create some kind kind of guard to hold down the fort. After all,
that's what I'm saying. I freaking called this from the beginning.
What good is a stronghold if you have no one to protect it against invaders? Dream, that's your line.
Also, only a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. So if you end up liking this video, consider subscribing. It's free, and you can always change your mind. Enjoy the video.
Not exactly what I was going for, but seamless save, buddy.
Thanks.
Anyway, I think
you know what, friggin', I'll do it too. It goes for me as well. If you're new, hit subscribe. Subscribe to me, subscribe to Dream, subscribe to Matt.
all of this paints a pretty compelling picture. After creating the overworld villages and the iron golems,
why didn't they just use an all-iron golem and create that and make it just dedicated to protecting the end portal or whatever, instead of creating a whole new Warden? Why didn't they just create like an iron golem and just have it down there to protect it?
the ancient builders continued their pursuits. They experimented with all sorts of things, including experimenting with constructs made using souls. This kind of experimentation is what would eventually unleash the horror that is the Wither, but it's also what gave rise to their automaton buddy, the Warden, built with the same material that they were using when they constructed the end portal blocks, which served as the vehicle for their final escape away from the underworld. Perhaps they left through those end portals expecting to return shortly after, leaving the Warden as a line of defense against anyone who might try to follow them, but they never returned, and the Wardens, believing that their masters had abandoned them, wandered away. They ventured deeper and deeper underground, finding a biome more suited.
Okay, that would explain why they're not, like, if they are in other areas besides just from the end portal, then that would explain it. Like, if they've just been there for so long, they probably just wandered away. That would explain it.
That were created to exist in the dark, where they exist to this day, waiting for us to stumble across them. I mean, if that's actually what happened, it would explain a lot, like the Warden's name and why it seems to have multiple souls in its chest.
That's definitely a possibility. But I've been doing research, and it's also possible the Skulk somehow creeped and crawled until it came into contact with soul sand and found a way to harness the energy of those souls to naturally spawn the Warden. Sure, I mean, the idea of a plant-like
I think I agree more with Matt.
growth somehow doing this seems a bit far-fetched, and it wouldn't really match with the Warden name, but it's definitely possible. According to developer Brandon Pierce, you could definitely argue that the Skulk in general is sentient. Happy face. It's weird that he says the Skulk is sentient in general. Like, could all the Skulk we see be part of some sort of hive mind with the Wardens in charge, or representing what happens when it hits some soul sand? Or what about a different possibility? Maybe the Skulk attached itself to an iron golem. In the iron golem's base model, we see that they're covered with vine growth. What if vines weren't the only plant-like growth that decided to make an iron golem their home? Could the Skulk corrupt or somehow
He does have a point. He does have a point.
take over an iron golem?
It's not a bad thought. As confirmed on Twitter, the Skulk is bigger and more massive than the Golem, and it's even more powerful but still possessing the same long arms. But again,
It's even more powerful. Iron golems are very powerful as it is. Why would they make it even more powerful?
doesn't explain the souls or the name or the connection back to the end portal blocks, which is why my money's on it being an artificial creation by some ancient race. TL,
I am with Matt on it.
once it's finally out.
It definitely does seem like Mojang has been putting more time into the lore department these days.
So this isn't one of those days where we get to say that we solved the mystery of the Warden and the Skulk. It's something that we'll have to do together as a community.
And we gotta wait to what, 2021 or something?
And that's part of why I wanted to start having this conversation now, because not only is it something that we all have to look forward to, but it's also something that I think we should keep in mind as we continue to explore other parts of the Minecraft lore.
Ooh, okay, this is the part where you say the thing, right?
You made it to the end of the video, which means that you liked it and should therefore subscribe?
No, the other thing, but hey, that's just a theory.
Wow, that was worse than your answers in the Mr. Beast tournament.
I still technically finished ahead of you, Galaxy Brain.
Only because you were voted back in.
Technicality.
Well, from one loser to a fellow loser, thanks for coming on. And you know what? It is indeed time to say, but hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
I like this video. I really did. Yeah, I wasn't even aware that they were even adding in the Warden until I saw this. I'm like, what? But yeah, that's crazy that they're adding that in. And I think I agree more with Matt on this. I think it is something created to protect the end portal. However, after the people never came back, the Warden probably just left its post and just started wandering around. That's what it seems like, and I think I agree with Matt on it. However, we aren't going to know until it comes out in 2021, so sometime next year. But anyway, I hope you guys like this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you're new, hit subscribe to join the family. I think I'd rate this theory out of a 10. I can't speak. I like having both, because Dream had his own, you know, opinions and whatnot on it, and I like seeing that as well as Matt's opinion. So then you have a little bit more choices on who to believe, and you have a little bit more variety. I like that, but I'm still gonna side with Matt on it. But yeah, anyway, I think I'm gonna rate this out of a 10. Probably like a 7. I can't rate it higher because we don't have any more information to go off of, though it's mostly just speculation. But anyway, whatever. That being said, I'll see you guys next time.